Okay,
What is our date today?
So,
The
with
26th.
with the pleasure of the committee, I would suggest that rather than start the meeting, we go immediately into the public hearing.
Yeah. Is anybody here for that, though?
Well, I guess to
I'll
call a
find
meeting,
out,
call a improvement services
Right.
meeting together to order February 26th. We'll note all members are present.
But I can't get in.
Refresh.
I just refreshed it
Oh.
like 3 times.
Maybe you've been kicked
Are
off
you
the
guys
committee.
here?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Can't vote today.
Oh, I didn't leave the parks. Oh, that's what the problem is, sorry.
My son would say skill issue.
It was
I
you
won't-
error.
I
User
won't say
error.
that because I wouldn't say that.
I like your son.
It's a skill issue. My sister, my daughter.
Skill error?
It's a skill issue.
Oh,
That's a
I guess
game.
for me, it's actually a reading issue, because it like, oh, it says leave.
Sure, you did the roll call. I think with the approval of the agenda, just make a recommendation to move public hearing up to the
Oh.
front.
Okay, I make a motion to move the public hearing up to the front.
Motion by Alderich,
Second.
second by Alder Presley to move the public hearing up to the first item. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Wow. All right, our first item is the public hearing, or the public hearings. You usually read these off, Steve?
I can definitely do that.
I think we like hearing your
Sure.
authoritative voice.
Could we?
So tonight we have a public hearing for asphalt resurfacing. Projects being considered tonight are Oak Grove Avenue from Deckner Avenue to Kirk Street, Burger Street from Deckner Avenue to Bill Street, Pine Terrace from Burns Avenue to Western Avenue, Rutger Street from Wedgewood Drive to Western Avenue, and Wedgewood Drive from Pine Terrace to Rutger Street.
Oh, that's right.
Then asphalt pavement, the difference between asphalt resurfacing and asphalt pavement, the asphalt pavement projects are reconstructs. This would be Howard Street from 12th Avenue to South Oakland Avenue, Hazel Street from School Place to Shawano Avenue, and 4th Street from South Maple Avenue to Broadway. So the public hearing, February 26, 2025, in accordance with state statute 66.0703, this public hearing is being held to levy assessments for proposed pavement improvements which are included in the 2025 capital improvement program. All of the projects being considered tonight will be included in contracts administered by the City of Green Bay Department of Public Works Engineering Division. All of the proposed assessments are being levied in accordance with the city's assessment ordinance. During construction, the contractor is required to provide access to businesses at all times and residents as much as practical. When a residential driveway is inaccessible, property owners or tenants can receive permission from the city police department to park on adjoining streets. Problems during construction should be brought to the attention of the Department of Public Works Engineering Division by calling 920-448-3100. Asphalt pavement. Hazel Street from Shawano Avenue to School Place is classified as a local road in a residentially zoned area with a single commercial property. The existing asphalt is an urban road section in poor condition and is in need of reconstruction. Hazel Street will be reconstructed with an asphalt pavement with a curb and gutter over a gravel base and typical clear width of 30 feet. 2025 assessment rate for asphalt pavement reconstruction is $63.40 per front foot for commercially zoned or used properties. The estimated cost of pavement construction is $360,000. Sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water main rehabilitation and construction will be performed prior to pavement reconstruction. The estimated cost of the sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water main are $285,000, $410,000, and $300,000 respectively. No assessments will be levied for the sanitary sewer, storm sewer, or water main improvements. Howard Street from South Oakland Avenue to 12th Avenue is classified as a local road in a residentially zoned area with one commercial property. The existing asphalt is a rural section in poor condition and is in need of reconstruction. Howard Street will be reconstructed with asphalt pavement and curb and gutter over a gravel base. Typical clear width of 30 feet. 2025 assessment rate for asphalt pavement reconstruction is $63.40 per front foot for commercially zoned or used properties. Estimated cost of pavement construction is $540,000. Sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water main rehabilitation and construction will be performed prior to pavement reconstruction. Estimated costs of the sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water main are $425,000, $620,000, and $410,000 respectively. No assessments will be levied for the sanitary sewer, storm sewer, or water main improvements. 4th Street from South Maple Avenue to Broadway is classified as a local road in a residentially zoned area with a few commercial properties. The existing asphalt is an urban road section in poor condition and is in need of reconstruction. 4th Street will be reconstructed with an asphalt pavement with curb and gutter over a gravel base and a typical clear width of 24 feet. The 2025 assessment rate for asphalt pavement reconstruction is $63.40 per front foot for commercially zoned or used properties. The estimated cost of pavement construction is $320,000. Sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water main rehabilitation and construction will be performed prior to the pavement reconstruction. Estimated costs of sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water main are $140,000, $80,000, and $190,000 respectively. No assessments will be levied for the sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water main improvements. Asphalt resurfacing. Asphalt resurfacing on the streets being considered tonight will consist of milling the existing asphalt, eliminating depressions with a 1 1/2 inch asphalt leveling course, and then placing a 1 1/2 inch or more asphalt surface over the entire paved area. The objectives of resurfacing are to provide a smoother roadway surface, eliminate maintenance problems, and to extend the life of the street. Asphalt resurfacing can only be completed on an existing improved street where the base is still in good condition. Once base failure has occurred, the entire street has to be reconstructed. Prior to resurfacing any street, utilities will be reconstructed and/or rehabilitated as needed. In addition, preparation work consisting of filling the existing asphalt pavement, spot base repair, and curb and gutter repair will be completed. Following factors are considered when determining whether or not the curb and gutter should be mud jacked or replaced. 1, condition of the curb and gutter. 2, the amount of water retained in the gutter. 3, the amount of funds available for curb repair work. All preparation work for asphalt resurfacing is provided at no cost to the property owner. 2025 assessment rate for asphalt resurfacing is $21.37 per front foot for commercially zoned or used properties. The estimated cost to resurface all streets included in this year's resurfacing program is $2.5 million. Personnel from the Department of Public Works Engineering Division have field inspected the streets included in this hearing and have determined that resurfacing is warranted at this time. Streets being considered tonight for asphalt resurfacing are as follows: Oak Grove Avenue from Deckner Avenue to Crick Street, Burger Street from Deckner Avenue to Mill Street, Pine Terrace from Burns Avenue to Western Avenue, Rutgers Street from Wedgewood Drive to Western Avenue, and Wedgewood Drive from Pine Terrace to Rutgers Street. No assessments will be levied for storm sewer, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, or water main improvements. That is the engineer's report for the projects being considered tonight. Again, just a reminder to the committee and to anybody who might be listening that the assessments that we are considering tonight during the public hearing are the ones that are being passed on to adjacent property owners. The residentially zoned properties and half of the other than residentially zoned properties, which are covered by the local vehicle registration fee, are not subject to the public hearing, only the portion that is being passed on, which is 50% of those non-residentially zoned properties.
All right, anybody here for this item? Anybody online? Looks like there's only 2 people. Anybody here? Anybody here for this item? Anyone here for the public hearing? All right, once, twice, thrice, no one is here.
Hearing none, we can close the public hearing. And then a recommendation from the council. Staff's recommendation is to order the improvements constructed and assessments levied in accordance with the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Alderich,
Second.
second by Alder Presley. Any discussion on that? All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Holy cow.
We hear you loud and clear. That motion
It's
passes.
It's like,
I even tried saying it softly.
Wow.
well, how do we adjust that? Is there a way to adjust the volume? Just wondering.
All right, we'll move on to the rest of the agenda. We'll note that this is a recommendation from this committee to the full city council, which meets next week, Tuesday at 6. So while the 4 of us are very wise, sometimes the council goes a different direction. If you want to appeal it, you can go there.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second by Alder Eck to approve the agenda, second by Alder Presley. Discussion, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Bye.
See, he's going with our donuts.
I know. Yeah, they're donuts.
Sorry.
Approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve. Oh,
Motion by Alder Presley to approve the minutes.
second.
Second by Alder Eck. Any discussion there? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right.
He's trying.
That passes. Regular business, number 1, consideration with possible action on request by Alder Prophet on behalf of the resident at 1285 Cedar Street for an exemption in the setback requirements of the City of Green Bay street terrace policy for plantings in the terrace.
So the
Before I
city-
go to you, Director Grenier, which item are you here for?
Three.
Number 3, thank you.
Okay.
Director, all yours.
Okay, so the city adopted a street terrace policy back in 2012. Copy of that street terrace policy has been provided to you in the packet. Of particular note, it indicate that under sub-item 5 in the terrace policy, in areas where there is curb and gutter, I'm sorry, this would be for under item 3B. For terrace areas with sidewalk, plantings shall be 12 inches in height or less and have a setback of 18 inches from the back of curb and from the sidewalk. So what we provided to you are some photographs, first an aerial photograph showing the subject property and then a couple of photographs of this parcel as seen from Cedar Street. It appears that that terrace is somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5 feet wide, which would, if you measure 18 inches from both the curb and from the sidewalk, that would only leave about 2 feet of area for the planting in the terrace. In speaking both with the resident and with Alder Profit, one of the other reasons I gave you the angled views, this resident has her entire yard planted in other than turf grass. So
There's a house there?
Yeah.
There's so much, I mean, that's impressive.
So
but just-
the only turf grass that this particular resident has is the terrace. This resident would no longer, doesn't want to maintain, she has no problem maintaining her planting, she doesn't want to maintain turf grass in the terrace, so I did suggest she would have to seek a variance for that. The reason we've got those 18-inch buffer strips, there's a little bit of it with making sure we don't have encroachment over the curb and over the sidewalk, but the primary reason for that is to provide a filter strip to prevent against erosion, so we don't get soil moving on site. So in the report, the staff report that I've included for you as part of the packet, what we would suggest is that she would be required, if this were granted, one condition of granting this variance would be that she maintain a minimum of 70% ground coverage, which is what we use as the baseline for when a lawn is being installed or when vegetative maintenance is being performed. That you have to have 70% maintenance before you can remove the erosion control around a construction site. So as long as she maintains that 70% coverage, we think that adequate protection against erosion has been maintained. Similar argument to planned natural landscaping, that typically these types of plantings do have deeper, more complex root systems than conventional turf grass. This might actually hold the soil in the terrace better than turf grass does. But we do have an adopted policy, so we can't grant that exception at staff level, so we brought it for your consideration.
Thank you. Alder Beck.
Yeah, I do have a question. It kind of looks like it's a mature area and that it's been there for a while, so I'm just kind of wondering, did something change? I guess it's kind of a somebody noticed it type of thing. It seems like it's been there for a while like this.
It has.
Yeah, so,
It's just the resident no longer wishes to mow that small strip. She would like to maintain that terrace consistent with the rest of her yard.
There.
oh, okay, I totally missed that. Okay,
Oh,
so she
okay,
wants to
sorry.
plant in that front part.
Yes.
Oh,
Now, she's allowed to plant in the front part, she just can't
Yeah.
get closer than 18 inches to the back of curb or sidewalk. She's
Yeah.
requesting a waiver from that 18-inch setback.
man, just looking at it, the police would not recommend all that in front to cover up, I just know.
Well, it would be limited.
Can't see
to
anybody
12
by their front door.
It will be limited to 12 inches in height. She's not seeking a variance from the height restriction. She simply, the offset, the horizontal setback distance is what she's requesting.
I would think that's more maintenance than grass. But, I mean, that's not the issue, I'm just saying, she doesn't want to maintain grass, but it takes more to maintain a garden with weeds and everything.
That could be.
Yeah. How do the neighbors feel about it?
We have not reached out to the neighbors.
Because, I mean, I would think that would matter. That's who we're going to hear complaints from.
Any other questions? Alderman?
Comment.
Yeah, sure, Alder Presley.
I think it's gorgeous. I think the lawn is gorgeous, and I think as long as it is doing what it needs to do, which is stop erosion, then I'm in favor of it.
All right, thank you. Anything, Alder Deely? Any comment on this one?
Yeah, I think everyone's got their own niche when it comes to this stuff, and I think it's cool that someone wants to do something like this. So I'll pay for it.
Any other questions, any motions?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Alder Presley to approve.
I will second that.
Second by Alder Deely. Discussion, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That
Aye.
passes. All right, that passes. Number 2, consideration with possible action on request by Alder Presley to conduct a street light study on Wisconsin Avenue. Who'd like it?
Yeah, I just want to do a motion to hold the person who asked me to bring this to committee is not able to speak on it today. So I would make a motion to hold until the March 12th meeting?
12th, yep. I
I'll
second.
second.
Motion by Alder Presley, second by Alder Deely to hold this item until our next committee meeting. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? That is held. Number 3, consideration with possible action on a request by Alder Hinkfuss on behalf of Craig Francois? What do you prefer?
Francis.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Good.
2965 Shelter Creek Lane to appeal the charges levied against the property for placing yard waste in the street for collection instead of keeping it on the curb.
2024, property at 2965 Shelter Creek Lane was tagged for having yard waste or leaves in the street. Property owner was notified by letter and informed that further violations would result in a fee. On November 7th of 2024, again, significant amount of leaves and yard waste was again noted in the street. Staff collected the material, submitted an invoice to the property owner, and the property owner is now contesting that charge. In the packet, what we've done is we've provided 2 photographs that we took on that November 7th date when we came back out the second time. There is a lot of the leaves on the curb, but there is a significant amount in the street. And if you look at both of the photos, both the farther away, so if you start with the second photo, the one that's farther away, just to the right of the tree closest to the driveway, you can see out in the street, there's a pile and it's got green material that's not leaves on top of that pile. The closer in photo is a close-up of that pile, and you can see that the larger pile is near the curb line, and this is 2 feet or more into the road with not just leaves that have been windblown, there's actually placed green yard waste material on top of it. So staff feels that this charge is applicable.
What was the charge? I don't think it was listed anywhere.
What was the charge? Offhand, I don't know.
Okay.
It was $91. Can I speak?
Yeah, we will definitely open the floor. Any questions for Director? Okay.
The only I was going to ask is who took the pictures, but you're saying
Our
staff.
staff.
So, yeah.
Would you like to open the floor?
Motion to open
Motion.
the floor.
Motion to open the
Second.
floor by Alder Presley, second by Alder Eck. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's carried. Floor is yours. Just come up, please. Give us your name and address.
That's Craig Francis, 2965 Shelter Creek. And I've also got a couple photos that I just want to bring up. I don't know, do you want to look at them? Do you guys want?
Well, we can pass them around. Maybe start
Okay.
here and end up over there.
First one, 1030. This is what, in this neighborhood, it looks like without anybody wrecking. You can see both myself and my neighbor. That's what that curb looks like for about 3 weeks. So that's the first one.
Okay.
What was the date that you mentioned?
11/7.
The first one was October 24th,
Yeah.
second was November 7th.
Okay, and the October 24th one, was that where it triggered the letter in the mail?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And I'm not disputing that was done. Here is, what Steve is talking about was on October 24th. This was the very next time the leaves were raked. There's not many more places I can go with. And this is another picture of what, I mean, the device that sweeps those off, they can only go so far. So this is what's left. So if I keep raking more into my yard, you won't even be able to, the machine won't even be able to sweep them off the yard. So I'm not sure where we go with it. So, so I just wanted to show you guys those pictures.
Did you see the staff pictures?
I've not seen the staff pictures.
Do you have them printed out? I can show you on my
Yeah.
computer here. Sorry.
Oh,
Yes. Okay, so that's one of them. And then, I think I have to scroll down here to go to the next one. Oops, I went too far. That's the far away one.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
then
how picky are we going to get
close
here?
up. Okay, just wanted you to see what we're looking at.
You know, I've been a real estate agent for 29 years in this town, and I got more calls, texts, people asking me about this topic than anything in 29 years. You know, first of all, the letter that came, you know, my recommendation for fall of 2005, Steve, I don't know if you're going to do the same thing, but in that letter, I think it would be in the city's best interest to actually put what the fine is going to be, so people know. And, I mean, what constitutes a fine and what doesn't constitute a fine? I mean, you're gonna have leaves.
And if I
in-
could, I just wanted to intercede a little bit. I think it's a fee, right, for service, or
Correct.
is it a fine?
No,
So
it's
it's
a
based on how much time you spend
It's a
there?
fee.
Okay. It is a fee?
Yes.
So it's not a billing for service, like removal of snow or something?
Well, actually, it
It
is,
is,
and
it is.
what it represents, even though we are out there, it represents the cost that it would take for somebody to leave the shop, go out, pick it up, and come back.
So it is kind of time-based if it were?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It's based on a minimum time.
okay.
What's the, you talking about the $91 or
Yes.
something else?
The $91.
Yeah, I was just kind of clarifying, it wasn't like a set fee. I think it's based on a minimum amount, and then if it takes longer, it can be more, so I know it's,
Right, if it wound up being, 150 feet of frontage and
Yeah.
the whole gutter line was piled full, it would be a larger fee.
I just, sorry, I didn't want to confuse it, but it's.
Actually, I would think it would take less time just to move the stuff that's in the street than have somebody come, pull the stuff off the grass into the street, so.
There's a reason for it, though.
Yes.
I understand I talked to Steve on the phone on this, so, you know, I think there needs to be clarity moving forward too on, I know a person that got the first letter, you know, you can't do this, never raked again and got a fine. So, you know, I don't know how he got his rescinded, I don't know what his process was, but he's like, I never raked again and here a fine came in. So there's gotta be some discrepancies going on who's getting fined and who's not. So, and I know I asked you on the phone, you didn't have an answer, do we know how many households? So, you know, at some point, we can't have anything in the street? I mean, as you can see with my pictures, I try to get as many in the grass as possible. And I'm not only looking for myself, but like I said, I've got many questions, and I know they're gonna be coming in the fall of 2025. I'd like to give them answers other than saying you can't have any leaves at all in the street, even though you guys know there's going to be leaves in the street.
Well, and like I told you on the phone, what Mother Nature puts there, I can't do anything
Yeah.
about. But what the residents do, the residents have to make every effort to keep that stuff behind the back of curb on their terrace.
I think my pictures tell you there's been a lot of effort that those leaves stayed on the grass. And I'm not disputing, there are some out in the street, but I don't know what constitutes too many in the street and not enough in the street.
Questions, Alderette?
Well, I would say, I guess, when it's intentional. And what adds to the proof, I guess, that's intentional is the extra green plants on top of it. And it's like a pile in the street versus the picture you had on October 30th that was where it was, you could see it was clearly
Yeah.
alone in the street. So I guess that's, I'm just answering your question, that would be what we look at.
Questions? Alder DeLee, any questions? All right.
Yeah, I think, you know, there has been a lot of explanation on where this, where this information laid. You know, they posted a lot of stuff on what the reasoning for this was and why. It's pretty obvious when they're blatantly pushed into the street or when they're left above the curb. So I think that, you know, that kind of is the telltale sign of where we decide on this.
Did you have any questions for Mr. Francis? No? Anything else you wanted to add before we
No,
just kind of talk?
I think that summarizes at least,
Okay,
you know,
appreciate it.
my take.
Thank you.
Motion to close the floor?
And did you need your photos back, Frank?
Motion by Elder Eck to close the floor.
Second.
Second by Elder Presley. Discussion, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the floor is closed. Questions, motions, what are your wishes?
I mean, it's not easy, you know, it's kind of our position that we have to be in, but I would say based on the pictures, it appears to be that they were put in the street. So I think that I would make a motion that it would stand, the fine.
I would second that.
So motion by Elder Eck, second by Elder DeLee to deny the appeal? Correct. And on, you know, on discussion on that, I can only tell you from my side of being an alderman, I get more complaints from people that there are leaves in the gutter because then they have to go out and pull them out of the drain, and I get people sending me videos and pictures that I send on to staff, and so I understand it's not easy. I mean, where I live, we have very small areas to put them, and yet we all managed to get them on there. So
Well, you can't do it, I mean.
I have a sidewalk where, you know, you can't have it on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
you can't have the street, but we managed to get it on there, so you're blessed, at least you have some. But, you know, I get it's not easy, especially with the winds, but you can tell the picture you gave us, that was all wind blown as opposed to the kind of the clumps that were there, so. My 2 cents, there are, just so you can have some comfort, there are a lot of complaints on the other side that leaves are in the streets, and what do we do when we have an ordinance, why aren't you enforcing it? Believe me, and I'm sure you hear it.
Yeah.
I get the videos and pictures of it.
Well, plus from the DNR, our requirements.
Yeah, we're required to limit or eliminate as much as possible that going into our storm sewers, and so that's why there's such a push, especially this year. We've been kind of, let's say, by lax on it the last couple of years.
Well, you've done it, you've been lax on it every year, so that's not, it's
Yeah.
it's been every year.
Yeah, until this year.
That's why the
Yeah.
letters went out,
Yeah.
because
This
it was like,
year-
we're gonna start to charge.
Yeah, well, exactly, and then when you think you're trying to do almost everything right and you get a fine because you've got 85% of leaves on it, 15,
Well,
whatever. I
You
mean,
you
that's,
did get a first letter, right?
I did get a first letter, that's why you see 85% of them that are on there, I mean, you have to be in that area with that many leaves, and do it, and, so I'm fine, you know, this is it, but my recommendation to Steve is, I think that letter that goes out needs to explain things a little bit better and put the dollar on the fine, you know, or it's a $91 fine, is that across the board, or is that different?
I think
by-
that's like the minimum, and then if you have a huge yard or like takes a lot longer, it can go up, because it's kind of,
Well,
you're paying for the services, you're not really, it's like a flat fee, you're reimbursing for the work done. So that doesn't fall on everybody else. It's
Yeah,
good.
I don't understand the work done, because those crews are out there
Yeah.
doing that work when they're removing the stuff anyway, so.
Well, and this does go to council next week, so it's up to you. There's 8 other people. You can come to council. I'll leave that decision up to you, so.
No, that's fine.
And I apologize, floor's closed. I shouldn't have been talking out
Oh,
of the.
yeah.
Yeah.
Close the
So,
floor.
thank you.
No, thank you.
Any other discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let him down a little gently, but whatever.
I did say it was hard.
Number 4, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to accept a pre-disaster flood resilience grant, PDFRG. From
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve by Elder Eck. Second.
Well, I've read all the information.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
okay with it.
we're getting a grant.
If you're
We love
okay
getting
with it.
grants.
And the short version of this is part of that Emily Park
Yeah.
flood mitigation. We've applied for grant funding to help offset some of the costs. This is the grant. Grant's $250,000 with a $75,000 local match. That local match is part of our stormwater budget, so we have the money set aside for it.
Show me the money. Nice. Do we have a motion to approve and a second? Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
That passes. Number 5, consideration of possible action on a request by Department of Public Works Operations Division to purchase a closed-circuit televising truck 2025 Aries Pathfinder and Wolverine 2.0 system outfitted in a 2025 Ford F-550 from JWR off Sourcewell contract number 120721-ARS for the price of $475,865, which includes delivery, warranty, and operating training.
Okay, so we started off in 2019 with an Aries, 2019 Aries Pathfinder camera system that was mounted in a Ford Transit 350, so essentially a 1-ton van. And this is what we use to drop that sewer camera in. We can run up and down the sewers and actually close circuit TV inside to check condition. That unit has been in service since 2019. It is due up for replacement. We are looking to go to a larger system, so going from a Ford F350 to a 550, so more of a commercial body truck, smaller dump truck, I guess, is the size range on a 550. With another Aries Pathfinder camera. This was part of our 2025 sanitary budget and storm budget is being jointly funded.
Questions?
And then just want to make sure we're drawing attention to the Sourcewell contract. That's a government services contract, which is what satisfies the public bidding.
Okay, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Alder Eck, second by Alder Presley. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Number 6, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works Operations Division to purchase a Generac 75 kVA trailer-mounted generator from Walter Inc. off Sourcewell contract 092222 GNR for the price of $57,033, which includes delivery, warranty, and operator training.
Okay, so with our lift stations, we've got, I believe, 22 sanitary and 19 storm lift stations located around the city of Green Bay. If we have any kind of issue that causes that lift station to fail, specifically electrical faults. So if there's a power line down in the neighborhood, a tree branch takes a power line down and the lift station fails, the lift station not working will cause sanitary sewer backups. Mostly, that's the ones we're worried about. A storm sewer backup's not as big a deal. It'll spill into the street, and once we get the lift station back up and running, it kind of alleviates itself. But a sanitary lift station, it will back up into homes upstream of that. So we will have to go out, and we've got all of our lift stations set up that we can pull a generator, a trailer-mounted generator in there, and hook up to the lift station, disconnect from the power grid, hook up to the generator, run the generator to keep the lift station in operation. One of our generators is scheduled for replacement. So this was provided for in the 2025 budget under equipment replacement. Staff did go out utilizing the Sourcewell government services contract and found an applicable, properly sized, and one that fits within our budget, so that was nice, and is recommending approval. So we do have the money set aside, it's in budget already.
Okay, motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Alder Eck,
Second.
second by Alder Presley. Any discussion on that one? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes as well. Number 7, consideration with possible action on a request by Department of Public Works Operations Division to purchase KM International trailer-mounted 4-ton asphalt hot box reclaimer from Monroe Truck Equipment off the Sourcewell contract 080521-KMI for $59,554, which includes delivery, warranty, and operator training.
This is one of my favorite pieces of equipment that we own. This is the hot box trailer that we use for asphalt pothole patching. So prior to about 15 years ago or so, the way to handle potholes was to use cold mixed asphalt, and it was referred to as throw and go. You would shovel the cold mixed asphalt into the hole, kind of tamp it down a little bit, and let traffic run it in. It didn't knit together very well. Oftentimes that stuff popped out of the holes within a month or so. It was scattered all over the road. We were refilling the hole again. So about 15 or so years ago, the technology came around where these heated, so it's an LP fired heater in the trailer, and we can use conventional hot mix asphalt, the same stuff that the roads are actually paved with. So it's the same chemical composition, using the same oil, the same aggregate. The trick with hot mix is you, as the name implies, you have to keep it hot until you place it and compact it. So that's what the trailer does. We throw the hot mix in there, keeps it hot, we get on site, we're able to fill the potholes, and they're much more durable than they were. So we do have existing, the existing Spalding that we have from 2011 has reached the end of its service life, and if you want us to continue to fill potholes, I would strongly recommend that we approve buying a new hot box trailer, and again, this was provided for in our budget.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Eck, second by Alder Presley. Any discussion on that? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
I
right.
want potholes filled.
Everybody wants their potholes filled.
Yes. Or we'll plant a tree.
I gotta use whatever I can to convince people.
We never get complaints on potholes. So.
No. Well, after winter, it's horrible. Oh, my goodness.
Number 8, consideration of possible action on request by Department of Public Works Operations Division to purchase 2 33 cubic yard New Way Sidewinder automated side loading truck bodies from Envirotech Equipment off the Sourcewell contract 110223-NWY for the price of $194,511 each, totaling $389,022, which includes delivery, warranty, and operator training.
Okay, this item and item 9 are related, so the discussion I'm going to give to you will be applicable for both. Heavy trucks, like a garbage truck, you don't buy like our sewer jetting trucks or a fire engine. Those are specifically built for that purpose. A garbage truck, on the other hand, you buy the chassis from one manufacturer and you buy the dump body from another. So you get the cab, the frame rails, and the wheels. Okay, so a rolling chassis, engine, transmission, fuel cell, all that good stuff. But the back end where the garbage goes doesn't come with it. So you gotta buy the truck separately, then you go to a different manufacturer, they manufacture the compactor body for it, and then you gotta go to once you take delivery of the chassis, you send the chassis off to the manufacturer of the dump or the compaction body, and they install the rest of it to make it a garbage truck. So this is for the compactor body. So the big piece on the back where your recyclables or garbage goes into, and it says City of Green Bay Sanitation Department. Those are what we're talking about under item 8. We have used Sidewinders in the past and with good success. Again, we are utilizing a Sourcewell contract to source those. These trucks, we have to replace 2 every year. They only have about an 8-year lifespan, and when you consider the fact that each one of those trucks, we have 16 of them, though each truck is on the road every day, they're used 220 days a year to pick up garbage and recycling. At the end of 8 years, they're pretty well used up. Now, a lot of them, we have been taking bodies off of them, rewelding the frames back together, and then putting them back into service. We've got some old rear loaders. So again, this is the automated side loader for the carts. We've got some rear loader bodies, and we keep our eyes open that if somebody's getting rid of a rear loader body at a reasonable price, we buy them up if we've got some extra money laying around, and we stick them in storage, and we convert those into what we call pans, and that's what's used for leaf collection for both spring yard waste and fall loose leaf. So our fleet manager's done a great job of adaptively reusing things to maximize the lifespan on them. So again, this is just our normal replacement contract. You will see that the body itself is $194,000, and the chassis is about $149,000. So more than half of the cost of the garbage truck is in the compactor body. But when I started as director 12 years ago, I think we were buying garbage trucks at about $215,000 each, and they're up to $350 or so now.
So this was for 8 and 9, right?
No, this is just for, we only have 8 on the agenda,
But
but
you
I
were-
wanted, the discussion is the same. So
Yeah.
what we're talking about under 8 is buying the compactor bodies. The next we'll talk about is buying the chassis
Do you have
that go
any
under them.
mean, but
Well, that's what I was wondering.
with consent of the committee, we'll just handle 8 and 9 together?
You
All right.
definitely can.
That was what I was gonna make a motion to,
Perfect.
I guess, suspend the rules and take 8 and 9 together.
Second.
All right, motion by Alder second by Alder Presley to handle 8 and 9 together. Discussion, those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
All
The
right,
motion to pass.
motion to approve by Alder 8 and 9,
Okay.
second by Alder Delee. Any discussion on those? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
that carries. Hey, we have some new dump trucks. Hopefully. Number 10, consideration with possible action on request by Great Lakes TV Seal, Inc. to enter an annual home hardness agreement for access to the City of Green Bay sewer system to conduct inspection of the sewer mains and laterals.
So again, this is something that comes up every year. We have 3 companies that we've been working with for a number of years who need to gain access to our sanitary sewer primarily, and they typically are working for another contractor, like a Wisconsin Public Service. They get into our main, then they extend a launch of the private laterals that people to people's houses so that they can be located from the surface. So that way when WPS is boring a gas main in, they're not boring through somebody's lateral. What does the city get out of it? It provides us with another set of eyes into a sewer that we might not otherwise be inspecting that year. And if they see defects or damage that we need to address, we're getting those things caught before they cause a problem. So it's been beneficial both to the contractor and to the city. Great Lakes is a company that we contract with for our own work. Quite often, staff does recommend approval of this.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alder Eck, second by Alder Presley. Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Number 11, consideration with possible action on request by the Department of Public Works to create section 16-40, subsection K, Green Bay Municipal Code relating to construction site erosion control reinspection fee.
So the shorter answer is is for construction site erosion control, staff currently has the ability to charge an inspection fee. What we don't have is the ability to charge a re-inspection fee. So staff is recommending changing the ordinance to provide for our ability to charge a re-inspection fee, and that re-inspection fee will be in the table of fees that is adopted annually by Common Council.
Sure. Alder.
When will that go into effect, then next year, or would that be immediately?
Well, first we would have to get the ordinance passed, and once the ordinance is successfully passed, we would have the ability to petition Common Council to amend our 2025 fee schedule, or we could wait until the 2026 fee schedule goes into effect.
Okay.
Any motions? Any other questions?
Question. How often does this happen that we would have opportunity to?
It happens, I would say, fairly frequently.
Okay.
We do normal inspections. This is for violations that are noted, that we come back and no action has been taken. Then we would start charging re-inspection fees for lack of, and I gotta be honest with you, our erosion control inspectors are pretty, not only are they pretty knowledgeable, they're pretty easy to get along with, and they do a really good job working with the site owner, even going so far as to make recommendations on things that the property owner or the contractor, as it, could do to achieve compliance. So if you're repetitively non-compliant, it's more often than not, it's willful.
Good question. Any other questions or motion?
Motion to approve.
Oh.
Motion by Alder Presley to approve.
Second.
Second by Alder Eck. Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes. Number 12, consideration of possible action on request by Department of Public Works to amend Section 16-82, subsection E, subsection 7, Green Bay Municipal Code relating to stormwater management permitting requirements.
Okay, the short version of this one is we are required under our MS4 permit to conduct inspections on private stormwater management devices once every 5-year permit period. We do not have ordinance language that provides us that ability, the authorization to do that, so we're looking to amend the ordinance to have language in there that allows us to conduct those private inspections.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Alder Eck,
Second.
Second by Alder Presley. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
All right, that carries. 13, consideration of possible action on request by Department of Public Works to review and approve the 2024 Annual Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System MS4 report.
Okay, this is one of our fun annual events where we bring to you the full MS4 permit report that will be submitted to Department of Natural Resources. The highlights, we did conduct our 15th year of outfall screening, inspecting 73 major and minor outfalls of the city's 358 total outfalls. We do look for illicit discharge and did manage to find a couple of in 24. We also managed 53 structural stormwater best management practices and have contracted with McMahon and NES to help the maintenance. Most recently, I think at our last or very recent meeting, we approved contracts for the annual maintenance on those stormwater ponds with those two companies. Always a popular part of the MS4
Muskrats,
permit.
yeah.
Muskrats. We were able to trap 125 muskrats this year.
Muskrats.
Free hats for everybody.
Again, conducted our successful street sweeping and spring and fall yard waste and loose leaf collection. The leaf collection program, we picked up 77,600 cubic yards of material. Considering that a fully loaded garbage truck holds 33 yards, that's 2,000 trucks if they were fully loaded. And that's a garbage truck with a compactor body on it. So 77,000 cubic yards, almost 78,000 cubic yards is a lot.
Sounds like a lot.
Alder Presley, you had asked about erosion control. We conducted 169 inspections, construction site inspections last year. 59 inspections of privately owned stormwater management practices. So again, that's that we need to do that once every 5 years. 11 illicit discharge complaints were investigated. Attended the conference in February. Conducted some education and outreach events relative to all the Leopold's Conservation Fair, the City Hall Academy, Noble May, and various stormwater tours. And then our program was audited by DNR last year, and we successfully responded to all of the audit findings. We expect DNR expects to audit everybody once every 5 years, and then we've also included all of the good data relative to the MS4 permit. So recommendation is to accept the report and to authorize the Director of Public Works to submit that to DNR.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alder Eck, second by Alder Presley. We had that.
So moved. What
And
did you
I
say?
still want to ask a question, but I'm not going to.
What?
No. All right, now those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That carries.
Aye.
All right, that carries. Where are we? Number 14, consideration with possible action on a request by Department of Public Works to award Parks 225 Birds of Prey electrical upgrades at a staff level to the lowest responsible bidder and report the award at the next Improvement Services meeting.
And staff is asking to change that recommendation. We actually received the bids yesterday. 5 bids were received. Current electrical services at $84,711.50. Quality Electric LLC, $92,069 even. Northern Electric Incorporated, $114,604.34. Bodart Electrical Services Incorporated, $116,232.25, and Eland Electrical Corporation at $144,380 even. We didn't know if we would be able to get the bids in yesterday, get it processed through Parks in time, so originally we were going to request that this be awarded at staff level. I think instead, what we would recommend is that the committee approve the award of contract to Current Electrical Services in the amount of $84,711.50. That is the low responsible bidder.
That come in good, what we were expecting, or?
That came in very well. As a matter of fact, we opened 2 contracts yesterday. The second was for a sewer extension out on Finger Road that will service the Yeah, the Drop Forge development out there in the industrial park. And that one came in extremely competitive. We had 9 bidders.
Nice.
All 9 bids came in below the engineer's estimate. So we are in an extremely competitive bidding climate right now. We are
Awesome.
pushing as hard as we can to get all of our contracts out the door.
That's good. Motion to approve.
All right, motion by Alderich to approve awarding to Current Electrical Services, Inc.
Second.
Second by Alder Presley. Discussion. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, that passes. Number 15, consideration of possible action on request by Department of Public Works to review and approve the award of ESG 125 salt shed construction to Elite Builds in the amount of $317,000.
For every project that goes good, you get one that's like this. We had, this is the East Side Garage salt shed that failed last year.
Yeah.
We originally had about $300,000 set aside. When talking to the materials supplier, that's where we got our information because we don't have good data on what a salt shed was. So we were talking to that material supplier. They told us that the materials would run about $150,000 and we should plan for about the same amount for the installation of it. So we have already purchased those materials. When we bid out the construction came back. We got 2 bids. Low responsive bidders, Elite Builds Incorporated at $317,000.
That's just for the building of it.
That's for the labor to put it up. We've already purchased the materials at about $150,000. So rather than a $300,000 project, we're looking at about a $450,000 project. Unfortunately, I can't go another winter without that East Side salt shed. We do need it. So staff has cut other building projects we were going to do to find the funding for it.
Okay, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Alderich, second by Alder Presley. Discussion. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, that is passed. Build a salt shed. Number 16, report the award of contracts, sewers, 424 stormwater restoration projects at Bear Creek for Part A and Part B to Advanced Construction, Inc. in the amount of $941,349.65.
So these are 2 projects that came forward from Alder Hutchison as part of the ARPA stormwater package. Bids went out. They came back above what we were expecting, but $651,324.82 of this will be the ARPA funded portion of it, and $290,024.83 will come from the stormwater utility. We do have money available to do it. We do feel the projects are worthy of getting it done, and we'd like to finish that. Now, just not that it affects the decision whether to award or not. And actually, this one we have awarded. We were given that authority to award at a staff level, so we already made that award.
Reporting the award. Yeah.
So we're simply reporting out at this time, so a receive and place on file would be appropriate. But I did want to let you know that I did have a conversation with the utility director or utility manager today, and also had a conversation with Alder Hutchison to make sure he's okay and on board with that. There has been some delay from DNR in getting the permits we need to complete this project, and then we've been talking with the city forester, and due to concerns with oak wilt, we either have to have and there's a lot of oak trees involved out here. Either all the oak, not just cutting the trees down, but the removal of the roots from the ground, everything has to be done prior to March 15th, or not until after October 15th. Staff was out there with the contractor on Monday of this week, or Tuesday of this week, walking the site, and given the fact that we've not had a heavy frost penetration, it's pretty soupy out there. So by mutual consent, the contractor has agreed. Actually, the contractor thinks it was a great idea. We're going to wait until after October. So we're going to award the contract, but award of the contract is going to carry the clause that work won't start until after the October deadline for the oak wilt. But they're still confident they're going to be able to get the work done this year.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Seconded.
Motion to receive and place on file by Alderich, second by Alder Presley. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that is receive it and place it on file it, as Alder Scannell was saying.
Adjourning.
Yes. 17, we have some reporting of actions taken. We have some sidewalk builders, tree and bush trimmers, and underground sprinkler system. Any questions on those? Otherwise, we can receive and place and file.
I make a motion to receive and place on file.
I'll second that.
Motion to receive and place and file. Alder Eck, second by Alder Presley. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. Number 18, consideration with possible action and request by Department of Public Works Operations Division to purchase 3 tandem axle dump truck chassis from Packer City International off Sourcewell contract 032824-NVS for the purchase price of $124,345.38 each, totaling $373,036.15, which include delivery, extended warranty, and operator training.
Okay, so this is part of our annual, or part of our approved equipment replacement. So this is just for tandem axle truck chassis, so it's buying a dump truck. So again, we did use the Sourcewell contract, and prices came in at $124,345.38 each, so staff does recommend award.
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
Motion by Alder Eck to approve, second by Alder Presley. Any questions on this? Alder DeLee, was that a question or was that a?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's just looking for approval.
Oh, okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, that passes. Number 19, consideration with possible action and request by Department of Public Works Operations Division to purchase 3 tandem axle dump truck body, wing, and plow packages from Monroe Truck Equipment totaling $511,393 off Sourcewell contract 062222-AEB-1 for Chris Steele stainless steel dump bodies and Monroe plow wings, which include delivery, warranty, and operator training. This is the most I've had to talk on agenda items. Tongue twisting.
Alder DeLee. The pool is
So-
calling my name.
Alder DeLee, we do not want to see pictures of your pool.
He's sending me pictures of where he's at.
We might disconnect you. He's on vacation.
We're almost
so
done,
he's actually
okay?
taking time
We're
out of his
almost done.
vacation to join us, which
Yes.
we're thankful for
Right,
that.
yes.
We still don't want to see pictures of your pool. Okay,
So
Steve.
this is more dump trucks, but these ones also have plows and wings, so the cost is a little bit higher.
Oh, that was it? Okay, motion to approve.
Let the big spender do the motioning. Motion by big
Me?
spender
Oh.
Alder Eck, second by Alder Presley to approve. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Go be a big spender, nice, nice.
And that passes. We are on to informational director's report, recent activities.
And actually, I do not have a director's report for you prepared tonight, partially because I have spent the last month literally running from meeting to meeting to meeting. So I guess one thing that I will bring as an information item for you, I have been meeting along with the traffic engineer and the operations director with Brown County, Village of Ashwaubenon, Department of Transportation, respective law enforcement agencies, and the State Patrol in conjunction with C3 Productions and the NFL on a weekly basis. And we have hammered out a traffic management plan for the draft. So we are literally, today we spent 2 hours going through intersection by intersection, identifying how many barricades, how many bodies, whether they would have a flag or a stop paddle. I mean, we're getting down to that level of detail over there in the district. So a lot of staff time is being dedicated towards that draft right now.
And that's gonna be, there's gonna, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, it probably be
Report.
remind you. Yeah, I've been pushing for as many updates as possible, and I think Mayor Genrich said next Tuesday.
I thought so.
We're gonna
Yes,
have a
the
council.
NFL is actually going to be in town
Excellent.
next week. So the mayor has made arrangements for a representative from the National Football League and C3 to be at the council meeting to give a update to the common council.
And then we're having one also at the Lombardi Neighborhood Association
Yes.
Wednesday.
Correct.
So we're gonna do
Oh.
double, because a lot of people have questions still, even though it's been in the media, but there's still a lot of questions, and especially
Is
if you live
it
right there.
open to other people?
It hasn't been posted yet. Yeah, it'll be anybody.
If it is, would you share?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, 'cause my
They were
people
working
wanna
out a
know.
location, so they haven't posted it.
I mean, I'm near that area, so
Yeah,
it
oh, yeah.
affects us.
Yeah. I did have a couple things just to quickly bring up. I should have mentioned it during the public hearing, but, obviously it came up with that street on Locust from Shirley to the park, and I know you had responded to it
Yes.
excellently.
Thank you, yes.
It is in rough shape. I know we looked at it, whatever we can do to try and get that moved up, because,
Yeah, like I indicated in the email response this morning, we have to be cognizant of how much room is in each of the programs. There's
Yep.
only so many dollars, but it does look like 26. We may have room to slide that one in.
that would be great, because it's a weird, the way it kind of,
Right.
it's a weird, I don't know if there's some underground streams or something making it ripple, or what in the world, it's,
Eh,
yeah.
We'll find out when we get in there.
And then it's less, so maybe DPW, but the water main break on Oneida happened, that's like, what, the second or third time in the last 7 years? And I
Yeah.
contacted the water department, and they're working through it, but we might be looking at a bigger project there.
Well, and we've had a couple of discussions with the water utility about that. So the 1100 block of South Oneida, we had a break in that same area 3 years ago
Yeah.
that caused a lot of property
Yeah,
damage.
yeah.
And the water main broke again last Thursday night. Unfortunately, what happened is when the water main broke, that water pressure blowing against our sanitary sewer knocked a hole in our sanitary sewer, and then all that water goes down the sanitary, which is bad enough, but given the fact that it's a 12-inch water main and a 10-inch sanitary sewer, okay, you're exceeding the capacity of our sewer, and you're taking all of that under the dirt underground, and you're blowing that into our sewer pipe, and then it goes up the laterals and causes backups and that kind of fun stuff.
Got lots of
So-
pictures. I'm sure you did too.
Yep, so, water utility did repair the water main. We did an emergency repair last week on the sanitary sewer, so the sanitary sewer is back in shape. I do expect that residents in that area will be filing claims, but that goes through the water utility. But speaking with the water utility, typically we take a look at those kind of streets and we try to see where we can slot them in for street improvements as well. The street in that area is going to take a long time to degrade enough to be eligible to make it up the priority list. So if water utility has to get in there and do a project without a sanitary, storm, and pavement contribution, they have to bear all of those pavement repair costs themselves. So what we're looking at, was it 2 or 3 years ago we did Hazelwood?
Yeah, well,
2 years
since I've
ago.
been on,
They tried
yeah,
to,
that was a good one.
we have been putting a liner inside of sanitary sewer pipes for longer than I've been around. But that same technology hasn't necessarily been there on the water side, because what we use in a sanitary sewer is a felt. Think of it like a felt, okay? It's rather thick, but it's impregnated with a resin, like a fiberglass resin. And then with heat, once you get that thing deployed inside the sewer, they inflate it so it pushes up against the existing pipe, and then they run hot water or steam through it. And that heat causes a catalytic conversion and hardens the resin. So you wind up with a structural pipe inside of a pipe. Obviously, you don't want that kind of a resin inside of your drinking water. That wouldn't be good. But the technology has come along where they can deploy liners inside of water mains now. And the water utility did a pilot project a couple of years ago on Hazelwood, and it worked rather well. So what they are looking at is potentially, they want to double check with us to make sure that, are you going to be doing a pavement project over there that we can all go in together while the pavement's ripped up? And if not, which it's looking more and more like not, they are going to be investigating whether or not it would be worthwhile for them to go ahead and do something non-destructive, like a liner project on that Oneida water main. So,
Good news. It's good news. It's bad news, but it's good news.
Yep.
Everybody responded quickly and did great. There was no complaints there. Everybody was very helpful.
yes, it's
Nobody-
it's not good that it
Nobody
happened.
likes to clean up your basement from 2 inches of muck and destroy
Right.
things,
Oh,
and
no.
hoping it's over and then having it happen again, right? So, yeah, any other questions on DPW stuff? No?
Motion to adjourn.
Should we receive and place on file? Or do all the-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, there wasn't a report, so we really
Yeah,
don't.
that's why I was thinking.
Yeah, But we can
Wasn't
receive
it?
and place on file. Hold the
Receive
rec-
and, motion to be, receive and place on file.
Second.
Second by
I'll second that.
Oh, second by-
Okay.
I
You wanna
retract
go
my
first?
second.
All right, second by Alder Dilly, you really wanted that one. That's yours, Ben. All right, those in favor?
Aye.
And motion to adjourn.
Yep, next meeting, March 12th. Motion to adjourn, Alder Eck.
Sorry, I jumped ahead.
Second.
Second by Alder Presley.
I think Ben's
Those in
already in
favor?
the pool.
Aye.
I'm not yet.
Yeah.
Say aye.
Everybody's in favor? All right, we're adjourned. Thanks.